Hi guys, it's U. Yes, I'm back. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'll be doing a comeback. I already released a video that I recorded last year and I thought, well, it's already uploaded to YouTube. I never published it, turned it public. I was like, why not put it and then start planning all this? Yes, don't focus on the light. The light is horrible at this time and it's so sunny. It's horrible. Trust me. It's a dilemma for me because if I close it, it's too dark. But yeah, I'm very shiny. So yeah, I'm coming back. I'll be doing more of the reviews that I like, less tags and things like that, but some shorts. I really like the short content. I think it's very easy to do recommendations, things like that. But I have a couple ideas, so be sure to tune in. So for today's video, I'll be doing what everyone is doing, and one that I think that I've done several times, which is the mid-year book tag, which is something that will give you a good idea how my reading year has been. So as you can see, I have a new microphone. Don't worry, some of the videos will not have the microphone because I only learned about TRSS and TRS when I start seeing that the microphone was not working on the camera, and I was like, this is really weird. And then I was like, oh, it needs an adapter. For me, it doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. I have an adapter now, a new microphone, so let's go with it. So let's start with the first question. Best book you've read so far this year? So it's been very hard. I don't have a new favorite book. It's been a year that's going to be very mid. You can have a 5 stars, you can have a very good book, but it's a favorite that you will rave about it. It's not been that year for me, but I would say is My Mother's Ridiculous Rules for Dating. And I listened to the audiobook. I had in NetGalley for a while, and I was like, it sounds good. I read one book by the author previously. Last summer, I read The Problem with Perfect. I got the book, I got the audiobook, and I got an arc on NetGalley. I was like, maybe it's the sign that I should read it. My best friend started reading that one, and I was like, I didn't like it at the beginning. I didn't have some soft it. I was like, no, I'm gonna read it. I think it's gonna be good, and it's hard. But this one is much more funny. So, for I recall, he's single. He came out of a relationship with a married man, and because he said I'm going to divorce and anything like that, and then he didn't because I'm going to move across the country and be and he was like, oh, come on. So he made an agreement with his mom when he was in high school that if he turned 30 and he didn't find someone, she would be in charge of creating dates for him. She will be in charge of his dating life, and I found that so funny. It was very, very funny the way she is and the way she knows her son better than him. Was superb. And the relationship he forges with the photographer, I think he's a photographer, I recall, and he's I don't know what he works on. I really don't remember. It was very early in the year, but I remember having a very good time listening to the audiobook, while I was working, while I was commuting. It was a very enjoyable experience, and so far it's been the best of the year. Hopefully the second part of the year brings me better books. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far this year. So this was very simple because I didn't read so many sequels, but one of them was very good, which is Good Girl Bad Blood. The review is coming soon. And let me tell you, the audiobook of this is insane. I love the audiobook. I love the first one. The first one was very good. I was like, how can you put the second book better? And I was like, that's how you do it. And I was like, damn, it's so good. I was obsessed. I was like, I should be reading normal books, physical books, because I have a ton of them. I should be reading on my Kindle because I have, but I was like, no, you have to listen. Rest your eyes, just enjoy the audiobook because this journey is gonna be amazing and you're not gonna be able to continue your life without knowing how this ends. So I love the characters, love the setting, love how Pippa evolves, how it connects very well with the first one without without losing what she lost. It shows maturity and growth and consequences for her actions. I really love that. It's definitely one of the best. And let me tell you, the audiobook being a full cast is amazing. The production of being showing when it's a podcast and when she's recording interviews, top tier. A warning, if you are on the US, the version should be different than the ones in the UK, and so you outside of those places, you can have different versions, so be careful of that. If you buy only the UK version, she will be set in the UK, but if you buy the US version, she's from the US. And I was like, oh, okay, so I should be worried, because I started the third one and she was in the US. I was like, no, she was in the UK on the last book. There was no border to Canada. I was like, oh, then I went to research a little bit about that. So yeah, be careful if you buy books secondhand, because that might happen, and so it will be very confusing. At least for me was. I was like, I need to wait for the British one, because it's not gonna happen. For me, she's British. Question number 3. New release you haven't read yet, but you want to. So I haven't been very aware of releases this year. It's not been my forte, but I still have some that are like on my radar. Especially now in August, I will start doing again the series that I do about my anticipated releases. I already have like the books that are gonna be released, and I need to see if I'm interested in them. But the one that captured my eyes from the beginning is Cleopatra, like, because I don't know. I'll put here a photo or something. This is my collection of Egypt. As a kid, I was obsessed with Egypt. I wanted to be an Egyptologist. I wanted to be an archaeologist, to go to Egypt, until I discovered that it's a very tough life. Not that being a scientist is much better, but sometimes it depends. So yeah, I was like, damn. And to see the lens of Cleopatra, I start reading in Portuguese the Cleopatra, which is a big volume in English, but in Portuguese was 3 separate volumes by Margaret George, and it's basically a retelling, like a historical fiction about her life. And I really like historical fictions about real persons, especially when they don't create like unnecessary things and just go. So I'm really hoping about that one. I don't know if it created or not, or if it's an imagining of Cleopatra, but if it's about Cleopatra, I'll probably gonna read it, because I'm still obsessed. So question number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. For that I have what it is, A World Apart by Megan Nesmith. I'll put here the cover. I really like the cover. I really like that it's an story, and I have an arc on it, Gali, so that's why I'm very excited, because otherwise I will not know that what is coming out this year. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about this one. When I request, I was like, I really want, because it's a fantasy, it's an part, and I love that part. I was like, okay, this is what I need more in my life at this point. So I'm very, very excited about this one. Question number 5 is biggest disappointment, and sadly I have to say it is The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. Like, I buddy read this with my best friend Inish, and we created a list of books I want her to read, books that she wants me to read, and we decided the book per season, and this was the spring's book I chose. Like, I chose spring and December, and winter, and she chose summer and autumn. And this was the spring that I picked, and it was like, I really wanted to read this book. I like TJ Klune, as you know, but I was like, so hard to read. It's very the essence is there, but I was like, it's a bit boring, and until you move on, the story is very slow. It touches interesting topics, and I like the conclusion, I like the characters, but it was very slow. I was like expecting a bit more. After Under the Whispering Door, House in the Cerulean Sea, I was expecting like the same level of exciting that I had for those two, but at the end I was like, did not work for me. It kind of worked for her, but I was like, it didn't work for me, so it was my biggest disappointment. Question number 6 is biggest surprise. So this is gonna be like a surprise for many of you, but it's how to become the Dark Lord and die trying. Let me tell you, I was obsessed. There is a review from book 1 and book 2 coming soon. Yes, stay tuned if you want to see why I become obsessed with it, but I was obsessed. I started listening to the audiobook. I couldn't stop. I was like laughing my guts out. I was like very happy listening to it, and I came from a very deep reading slump. I was not reading, I was not listening. I kind of didn't want to do anything, and I was like, okay, I need to pick something, and I picked this one. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I really liked how the characters go, how it grows, how the story is. Like, it has, you could say they're problems, but I don't see them that way. I explain everything in the review, so if you want, stay tuned, you'll get a full review of it. But I really enjoy it. Like I cannot say. I really had a great time. So it was a very big surprise that I see so many negative reviews and I had a fantastic time. Question number 7. Favorite new author, debut or new to you? So for favorite new author, I would say that is the author from My Mother's Ridiculous Rule for Dating, which is, I have here because I don't remember things, so I have to see on my phone. Philip William Stover. He wrote also the rules from Be Perfect. I put here the cover. So these are the 2 books that I read. It's not a debut author. It's not like a new author for me because I read 1 book from him last year. But for me, just 1 book doesn't mean anything unless you are Emma Long with A Blood Over Bright Heaven, because that captures you from the first book and you just need one to know it's an autobiography author. But it's different when it's an MM romance, because it could be very good in one, very bad in the other. It's like thrillers. You have to give several chances until you decide that it's an author for you or not. So I was kind of like, the first one was good and I enjoy it myself, but could it be continuous? Could it be the second book and the third book? So at the second, I'll say yes, it's a new favorite author and it's an author that surprised me. It's an author that I will continue to follow the releases and etc. 8. New fictional crush. Do I need to say anything more? No. Yeah. Moving on. Newest favorite character from the same world, but his wife, Alien. Yeah. So I've been reading Throne of Glass. I've been diving in Sarah J. Maas. I was like, Kotar, everyone, my friends were reading. I was like, okay, I read the first one, not impressed. I read the second, well, slightly better, not worse. Read the third, yeah, like, it's not the worst romanticies I've read. It's very solid. I read the one of Cassian. Cassian is a goat. And then I was like, okay, I have to read the Crescent City because of the sequels, okay. I can go with that. But Throne of Glass, I knew it was more focused on fantasy. It was a little bit more high fantasy than the books, more than the romantasy. So I was like, I'm more into that. I read the first one, was very good, and I continue. And the more I read the book, the more I read the series, I understand how amazing a female character Alien is. Like, I'm currently on Queen of Shadows. Queen of Shadows? I think it's Queen of Shadows. And the way her mind plots things, I was like, this is a very good, well-written female character, like, and the way that hunk over there respects her and treats her, I was like, yep, no, they are very good. It's very well written. Like, it could be, but it's very good. For me, she's one of the best female characters you could have in terms of, like, alongside with Shadow of the Gods, the Poppy War and things like that. She's very, very, like, on the same level of how she deals with things and how amazing capacitated she is. Like, very good. 10. Book that make you cry. As you know, I don't cry in books. I don't cry in movies. I don't cry on many places, so I get emotional, but I don't actively cry. But I read, like I said, I was reading The Crescent City, so I read the first one just because those books are enormous and you need like an editing of many pages, like House of Earth and Blood. And there's a scene towards the end, I will not spoil anyone, but there's a scene on the end that I kind of sad. I was like, not sobbing, but I got very emotional because it's a character that I really liked, and I was like, damn, no, why? It could be many others, but yeah. So that, I think, was the closest I got. 11. Book that made you happy. How to Become a Dark Lord and Night Trying, and everyone wants to rule the world except me. Yes, I got very happy for them. I got very happy listening to that. It was the reason why I wanted to return to BookTube, was the reason I wanted to returning to reading and to with everything else in life that happened. It also was helping, but getting with these 2 books and get me how happy I was reading, and I wanted to share the love I have for them and then continue with the audiobooks. Like, I've been devouring audiobooks like crazy. So yeah, it's been very good for me, and yeah, they made me happy. So here it is. 12. Most beautiful book you have acquired this year. And this is very simple. I didn't buy a lot of books this year. I bought this one, The Bones, that I got, but this is Like, I didn't got any subscriptions to a year this was so far besides this one. Nemesis Mine by Amy Archer. Like, look at this. Like, it's stunning. And the inside, wait, this jacket doesn't help, but the inside is even more prettier. Like, it's insane. When I heard that Illumicrate was doing this book, I was like, everyone was skipping. I was like, it's gonna be the only month I will not skip Illumicrate. There's gonna be a video later, like probably in August, September, about my subscriptions and how I felt about them. But regarding that, I was like, this is not going to be the one I will go speak. I will not be this one I'll be skipping. So I got it, and then I canceled my subscription because I was like, this is the only one I want so far. So it is what it is, but I'm very happy with that. Lastly but not least, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? So I have a couple. I have like The Burning God, which is over here, in these editions, like The Burning God by Araf Kwong. I really want to continue with more series that I didn't finish. Like, you have like The Iron Flame, which I read the first one. I got the second, and the third. I was like, probably gonna continue, but I want to finish Throne of Glass. I want to. Sorry, there's a car buzzing outside, but it's so hot I cannot like film without the window open. It's like the worst of two worlds. Is like noise outside or me dying of exhaustion from the heat, and that's not gonna happen on camera because it will be very sad. But yeah, I want to continue more series and finish them. So I have also Legendborn, the second one and the third that I haven't read, The Devils, or like start the series. I have a lot of books here, and I really want to focus on this year more on continue and finishing series, try to put a bit more series to finish each month at least once, and to try to decrease a little bit my TBR. I think I have a lot of books unread, yes, but there's a lot of circumstances there, especially when there are pre-editions. But that's a discussion for later. I'm not trying to justify myself, but it's just I have a lot and I wanted to keep a bit down, so I'll probably just end up a little bit reading those. I'm trying to see over the other side, because this side is a little bit hard because they're all facing to be pretty, but on the other side I'm trying to see if I have something that I really wanted to read by the end of the year. Some MM romances I wrote that are like a little bit country, or I read that one. Yeah, so I have a couple and I have some plans, so but mainly is this. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy it. Yes, I'm returning. Yes, you will get more reviews from me. I'll basically be doing this. At this point, I don't care about algorithm, I don't care about stuff. I'll be just posting my reviews for everyone who wants to find them, and occasionally a tag or something, and going to book clubs if I can, or readathons if I feel like. Probably the Christmas one from Eric from Break Even Books, one that I always participate or try to, and I always have a blast. So I'm sure I will continue to do that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you leave a like, comment, subscribe. All those things do help. Grow if you want. If you're not, be welcome. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye bye.